Hi everyone, this is Michael with the general reading for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising for the month of May 2019. I do hope this video finds you all well. I actually began it at 11:11, so that right there tells me that we have a lot of big manifestation energy coming for you right now. Be very mindful of the thoughts you're thinking and the emotions you're feeling because they are rippling out into your reality and they are coming back at you. Anything you put out will eventually return to you. So that's just a really important message for you right now. I did actually have the Devil card fall out for you as I was trying to figure out which card to pull, or which sign to pull for next. This is beautiful, beautiful art. I love this new tarot deck that I got. And this is telling me that a lot of you are really struggling with overcoming some old behaviors, I think. There's a few other signs that could indicate Capricorn to me as well, but when the Devil comes out, especially upright, it seems like there's definitely a power struggle here, potentially overcoming addictions or just dysfunctional patterns or relationships. That's coming in pretty strongly for a lot of you right now, and that's not surprising. The last few readings that we've been doing for you guys have been pretty intense, to be honest. And, you know, again, this is, again, sort of a warning. What you are thinking is really coming back at you, and you do have the power to overcome this devil. And I feel like a lot of you already are. A lot of you already are rising above. Your collective actually feels really strong. I'm feeling pretty confident for you guys. Before we begin with the actual reading, I would just like to start off with the disclaimer that this is, of course, a general reading, meaning that not all of the messages that come through are going to be meant for everybody. It's just up for you to decide what resonates and to leave the rest behind. You are your own best psychic, after all. We do also have a lot of other, we have all the other signs. If for some reason this video doesn't resonate, you are absolutely welcome to check out the other signs, your moon or your rising sign, and see if any of those fit. There's also just many wonderful readers available on YouTube as well, so just find someone who is speaking to you. If these messages don't resonate, you're just not showing up for this collective this month, and that's totally fine. I do also want to announce really quickly that I am actually going to start doing love readings later this month as well, so keep your eyes peeled for those. I'm really excited to start that. I also know that there's a lot of interesting stuff happening in your sign. Still, we do have a lot of outer planets that went retrograde in April. We're on April 25th right now, so there is... we just had Pluto go retrograde in your sign, which is a pretty... I've felt it pretty intensely, and we are kind of training each other. I am a Virgo, so I do kind of feel what goes on in your sign. We kind of have that Earth bond, Earth sign solidarity. So I do feel a lot of what happens for you guys, and I actually do have a Capricorn IC as well, or just the bottom of my chart, my 4th house. So I really do feel a lot of stuff. I have actually a lot of stuff in Capricorn. Anyways, so you're definitely going through a lot of transformation right now. There's a lot of, I think, really assessing the ways that you're coming into power, the ways you show up in the world, the way you have approached status, and I think coming into your own power is really something that's coming up for a lot of you, especially with this Devil card. Whatever it is you feel is oppressing you, this is reminding you of your own agency, of your own authority. You don't need to submit to anything else. You can, you know, you can rise above. You don't have to be these two people here who are really oppressed and weighed down by this energy. That's just not what you need to do. But it is also a reflective time. We do have Saturn, your ruling planet, also going retrograde in your sign as well. I actually don't feel like that's going to be so bad, actually. It almost feels like it's kind of reining in that energy, kind of pulling it back a little bit, because you guys have been feeling it. You have just had a really intense year so far. And there is going to be, if I'm not mistaken, there's going to be another conjunction with Saturn and Pluto again. So there is going to be some more... There's a little more intensity, but again, it is a powerful time. Whatever comes up, you just have to trust that it's going to help you move forward later on. So, I don't like to do these negative readings. I really am not. I know they've been so heavy, and I know a lot of you didn't really appreciate kind of the realness I gave you last month. But don't shoot the messenger. I'm not going to tell you that things are going to be all roses when there's actually some real things that you should be aware of. And whatever comes up in this reading, I do hope you know that it's all for the sake of your own growth. And I actually do feel like there is going to be a nice shift for you in the month of May. I am getting a good feeling, honestly, for everyone in May. We do also have Lilith that is going into Pisces as well, so that's going to be a really nice time to start doing some shadow work if that's not something you've already started doing. I believe that is May 3rd. If you are interested in all of this astrological information, I actually have a blog with all of my notes in the description box down below. And I think that's pretty much it. We're in Taurus season. A lot of the planets are going to be shifting into Taurus, going from kind of this fast-paced, action-oriented Aries energy into a more slow, steady, maybe even a little bit stagnant for some of us. Taurus can kind of be a slow starter, but I do feel like this is going to be kind of a powerful month for you, especially with this 11/11 energy. You might be seeing that a lot as well this month. So this just be mindful of what you're manifesting. You are really stepping into a lot of power. Anyway, I think I'm going to begin our reading now. Okay, I got shuffle 4 times. 1, and just 1 more. Okay. So, for the past energy kind of coming into March, we have the Two of Cups in reversed, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse, and the Five of Pentacles upright. What is going on, Taurus? I'm sorry, what is going on, Capricorn? I don't know why I called you Taurus. Wow, it seems like there's some really... Whatever was happening last month, it just feels like there was this breakdown in unity or communication or harmony with this Two of Cups in reverse. Some of you who may be married or be living with your partner, there may have been a lot of disagreements or just not a lot of really strong communication. There might have been a shutdown of vulnerability. There could even potentially be some of you that did end a relationship recently or went through a divorce, and that's who's coming up for this reading. It almost feels like this might actually be the devil energy as well. The way that you're relating to people is kind of coming up pretty strongly. We do have this Ace of Pentacles in reverse kind of in the heart of the past, so kind of through April or even earlier potentially, wherever this resonates. With these readings, time tends to be pretty fluid. I do see that you were hoping to start something and it didn't necessarily come to fruition, or something was blocked off. It almost feels emotional. You might have been moving towards something stable, or there might have... It almost felt like something, like a loss of stability, really. It wasn't really coming in strongly. Whatever it was that you were working on that was near and dear to your heart, or just something that was really affecting you emotionally, this loss of stability or this loss of a beginning, it almost feels like a missed opportunity for some of you, or it felt like that, not necessarily saying it was. There might have been some of you might have actually been turned down with the Two of Cups in reverse and the Ace of Pentacles in reverse. Some of you might have been making an offering for stability, and that was turned down, or it could be vice versa. These readings can sometimes come in reverse as well. And, that kind of is also indicated here with this Five of Pentacles. I do gotta say, this is kind of feeling out in the cold. I do, however, think it's important to note that these people aren't really alone. This mother and child still have each other, even though they're going through a really hard time. And in a way, I almost feel like this is you nurturing this wounded part of yourself, doing inner child work. If you haven't heard of inner child work before or have never done it, it may actually be helpful for whatever it is that's coming up, because it seems like there is still a lot of energy that was pretty... It was very shaky. It wasn't very... A lot of shutdown in communication, especially with people who are close to you. This could be in the work environment as well. Just kind of people in your day-to-day life. There wasn't a lot of harmony there. And I feel like you kind of were just fending for yourself in a way. This was kind of where your mind was, and this is kind of where the communication was. You kind of just felt left out in the cold. Someone might have been giving you the cold shoulder, is almost the feeling I'm getting. And there might actually be some sort of institution as well that you're trying to work with that hasn't been very cooperative with you either. That's just something that kind of came up too. What is the animal wisdom for the past for Capricorn? What are the animal messages? Interesting. We have the fish card, which is interesting because we were technically in Pisces season last month. Were we? No. No. I'm sorry, that's not true at all. We did have some planets in Pisces season, or in Pisces, I'm sorry. We had some planets in the sign of Pisces, and that was actually squaring some of your energy as well. So I do feel like there was a lot of... I'm sorry, it wasn't squaring, it was sextiling. Yeah, there was this interaction with Pisces. There was definitely a lot of being thrown. Whatever it was. I'm sorry, I don't have my notes. I didn't really review that. Sorry, not sorry. Whatever this was, I feel like you were feeling very thrown by your emotions. Very much kind of at the mercy of the tides here. And it does seem like some of you have been a bit directionless. You didn't really know where you were going in the month of April. There was kind of a lot of unknown. I feel like since we are technically still in April, it might be useful for you to make to-do lists to kind of get back on track. That is what the book recommends for this card. I do feel like some of you may have also been traveling or may have left a place that felt very secure. That is potential for some of you as well. Just really feeling... I feel like Pisces hit you really hard. You know, this Pisces season really hit you hard, Capricorn, and whatever happened then, I almost feel like it was still affecting you in April, to be totally honest. That's almost the impression I'm getting. Even though I'm human and I make mistakes, when they come up in these readings, I think there's more to it than just coincidence. I actually think there was something from Pisces season. Perhaps all of this was happening to you in Pisces season, or that's when it kind of began. But yeah, it just felt very... Things felt very slippery for you. And that kind of makes sense. I know the readings, again, they've been a bit hard. So let's see what May has in store for you, Capricorn. What does May have for Capricorn? The first half of May. And there's definitely going to be a lot of stuff with communication. There might be some conflict on the 1st and the 2nd because there is a lot of squaring with the stuff that's actually in your sign and the stuff that's going to be in... I believe it's in... Is it in Taurus? No, it's in Gemini. Right? I'm sorry. I don't know why I'm so off. I just know... I do have it in the blog. There is a lot of weird energy happening with Mercury at the start of the month, and it's going to be very much... I feel like at the workplace, potentially, is where this is really going to show up. A lot of conflict, a lot of tension, but it's also going to be an opportunity, potentially, for some of us to advocate for ourselves or on the behalf of other people. So definitely check out that blog. I'm sorry that I'm not totally in it right now. Sometimes when I go into these readings, when I go into this intuitive mode, the logical brain kind of shuts off, and that's kind of been the flow for today. I felt very Piscean myself, I got to admit. So I do hope that this isn't so offensive to you. And, you know, I have to say, it looks like the beginning of May is actually looking really, really good for you. We have this King of Wands, very nice. Eight of Pentacles at the heart of the reading here. And we have the Six of Swords that came out together with this Four of Cups. Beautiful. This is actually really, really nice. I'm very happy to see this for you, Capricorn. With this King of Wands, this could be a fire sign that you are working with or living with. I almost get the impression, however, that this is more your energy, kind of stepping into your authority, into your power. This is very tempered fire. This is very fair energy and very empowered. It's not the aggressive Knight of Wands fire. It's a very wise, almost Agni is the word that comes, an inner fire. And whatever it was that you've been through, I think for whatever reason, you're just coming across like this King of Wands at the beginning of May. You are just feeling very good, and people are seeing that. You're radiating a very positive and nice energy, and I love that. I do also see that you are working very hard on something, you know, something that's very near and dear to your heart with this Eight of Pentacles here, or you might make the decision to just, you know, kind of go a less traditional route and really follow your heart, and you'll actually have a lot of success if you start doing that at the beginning of May. So if this is kind of been a month you've been thinking about starting a new venture, if you're trying to work on something or break into something you really care about, this is your confirmation right now that May, especially the first half of May, is going to be a good time to begin that project. And there is, I was saying travel, so again, I'm not super surprised to see the Six of Swords. I see that whatever it was, whatever this disappointment was, whatever it was that you weren't seeing before, you're moving out of this feeling of disappointment. You're moving out of this feeling of, it's like you were so focused on what was going wrong or what was kind of in the past that you didn't really notice this blessing that was being handed to you. And I think at the beginning of May, you're finally getting it. And that's kind of been the message for you for a while. All of this crazy stuff that's been happening to you, Capricorn, has actually been happening in your benefit. And I think it's finally going to become apparent in May, especially if you are doing the work that you need to be doing. I feel like you are going to be rewarded, and you're finally going to see it. You're going to be moving into calmer waters. Some of you, again, may be physically moving or planning a move or just going towards what is next. There may be some travel for you as well. I just feel like this is you moving on from this rocky energy. And that's kind of what I was saying for you. Whatever it was that's been happening for you, however this crazy energy that you've all been going through has been manifesting, it's like you're finally moving away from it. So this is really, really great. I'm super happy to see that. I'm just going to pull an animal card as well to see what kind of messages we have there, what kind of guidance we can call on if we're feeling lost or alone. That's what I like to do with these animal cards anyway. What is the animal wisdom for the start of May for Capricorn? That's too many. What is the animal wisdom for the start of May for Capricorn? Interesting. Yeah, we have Swan. So right away, this is telling me that if the thing you've been wanting to work on is writing or something involving mysticism, because Swan is a very mystical card. It's Saraswati in Hinduism, the goddess. She pertains to poetry and language. If that's something you have kind of lost touch with, if you've lost touch with this creativity, my ear is ringing really loud right now, so I know this is resonating with a lot of you. This is definitely a good time to get back in touch with that. And it's almost like I feel like you're kind of going to be taking a lot of time to yourself. You might not be super social at the beginning of May. Swan can be a little bit territorial as well, so there could be some issues with like stuff in the home, maybe a need to kind of pull back and pull in. But that's not necessarily bad, because this is a very beautiful energy overall. It's very luxurious. I feel like you're going to be working on some things. I just realized this was upside down. You're going to be doing a lot of reflecting. That's why I wasn't able to tell this card was even upside down. It's like a perfect mirror here. I feel like you're getting really back in touch with who you are in the beginning of May. You just are seeing yourself clearly. And if some of you are dealing with a fire sign, if you are dealing with an Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, there is honestly kind of this feeling of reflecting that's going on for you. I do also get the sense, it could also be a Cancer as well, kind of a late Cancer, I believe, with this King of Wands, so someone who's a third decan Cancer, born in the last 10 days. This is someone who is mirroring you very, very strongly. It could even potentially be something like a twin flame, or a bifurcated soul, or just someone who feels like they're very much your opposite. They're your counterpart. You're going to be working very well with a fire sign. If that, for those of you who that's going to resonate with, there's going to be a lot of harmony. Perhaps if that's the person you were having disharmony with in the past, it does seem like there is going to be a making amends. So that's very, very nice. I'm very happy. And there is a lot of water that's coming up, I gotta say, at least for the animals. We do have the fish and the swan. And yeah, I feel like emotionally things are really calming down. So, thank God. Let's see. What does the second half have in store for you, Capricorn? I'm actually being told to draw from the bottom of the deck. Okay, so we have the King of Pentacles in reverse, the King of Swords in reverse, and we have the Empress. So I wouldn't get too concerned with the fact that we have these two reverse court cards here. I'm almost feeling like by the end of the month, you're going to be trying to work with a lot of people, and it might not be working out for you. People might be a bit delayed or kind of holding back. Someone might be a bit greedy, to be honest, with this King of Pentacles here. They might not be giving you the praise that you deserve. This could be in the workplace. This could be in the home. It almost feels like it actually could also be kind of a sense of shaky stability, to be honest. That is coming up for some of you still by the end of May, and potentially even out into June or beyond. Don't get so hung up on the time frame for this. This is a general reading, so it's going to really be pretty fluid. But I am feeling that there is kind of this... There's just something about this need to move on from a situation, and that could very well be manifesting as moving on physically, going to a new place physically. That is something I am feeling. You could also be dealing with an earth sign, so a Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn who's just been kind of holding things up or blocking things off. Another Capricorn. But I really don't feel like this is going to be a huge... I feel like you have your peace about you. And, you know, with this King of Swords, this is kind of, this could be an air sign that you're dealing with, someone who's being very cut off communication-wise, so it could be a Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone who's being very head over heart. I actually almost get the sense that this is you, and, you know, ordinarily I'm a bit hesitant of that energy. I think it's very important to be in touch with your heart, but to be honest, I actually feel like it may serve you in a really weird way. And that's kind of, I know that's a really bizarre way to read a reverse card like this, but I'm seeing that you're showing up as the Empress in communication and mentally. I think you're in a really, really good place. You're not feeling shaken. You're feeling very calm. You're feeling this Taurus season very strongly by the end of the month as things are shifting into Taurus. We do have Mercury and, what else? I want to say Mars by the end of May. Again, check the blog. But I feel like there's just going to be a really nice... You're feeling very calm. You're feeling very abundant, actually. I think whatever it was that you're working on in the beginning of May, I think in the beginning of May, you are already starting to see the benefit of that. You're really coming into a very fertile time. And I mean that more creatively. Some of you might actually be thinking about children towards the end of the month as well. That's not going to apply to a lot of people. Or you may get news that someone is pregnant by the end of May as well. That's a potential, being in the communication sphere. But I just feel like you're coming off very collected. And it's almost like you've just been through so much. You really, really have. I don't feel like this is really going to bug you. Whoever these people are, it's kind of like, whatever. I almost feel like you might even be distancing yourself from these people, is kind of the energy I'm getting, so you can have your peace. That's actually, yeah, I'm getting a ring again, so that's telling me that that's going to be the case for a lot of you. You're going to be these people who are just holding back, who aren't being vulnerable, who are being almost cold and calculating. That's kind of both of these signs, really, or both of these cards. I just see that you're not going to be bothering with them much longer, and it's you're going to benefit. You're going to reap all the reward, and sucks for them because you're going to actually be ending up in a really good place soon, and they're not going to be able to benefit from that. So let's see, what's the animal wisdom here? We got 2 cards. Interesting. Yeah, so we have the bee, and we do have the dragon. I'm going to get to this in a second. But with this bee, this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. It's like there may be some contention at work. There may be some people who you deal with in your day-to-day life who might be who might sting a little bit, but it's not going to like kill you. You've been through so much. And really, this is telling me that you're going to be working very hard in May. You're going to be doing a lot of things. You're going to be very busy. So it is important that you're also getting some sweetness out of life as well. You're kind of reaping the benefit of what you're putting out there. Some of you might need to indulge in a special night out for yourself, or you might want to even bake yourself something. Do something really nice for yourself. You know, really kind, sweet, like honey. I do see, you know, this is also potentially actually they say a mini vacation for this card to kind of take a break from something. And we are getting a lot of travel for you that's coming up. So that really might be something you're thinking about by the end of May, and that might be beneficial for you. And what was I saying? You know, with this dragon, this is this inner fire. We actually started with Agni and we ended with Agni. So that's so, I love it. I love that. Wow. Yeah, because dragon to me is inner fire embodied. It is the physical form of that inner fire, that solar plexus energy. You're going to be working a lot with your ego, your will, and I actually feel like it's going to be in a really good place. Your sense of self is going to be really strong. And you know, I was saying you're going to really see yourself in the beginning of May, and at the start, in the first half of May, you're really going to see a clear picture of who you are. And I feel like that's going to be with you for a very, very long time with this dragon card. This is a spirit card, so this is energy is very pervasive. It's very karmic. And you're in a very, very strong place. And again, we were talking about, you know, manifestation with 1111, creating our reality with our thoughts. Dragon is also about seeing beauty in the world. You see the inner fire that resides within everything. That's going to be very, very important for you. Everything around you has this innate spirit to it, and I think you're going to see that. And you're heading into a very, very bright energy, Capricorn. And I hope you really let this sink in, because this is like the best reading I think we've done for you so far, and it's like finally. Yeah, I think I'm gonna stop there. This feels like a nice place to end. I'm really excited for you. Definitely let me know what has been going on in the comments. Keep sharing your experiences. I feel like things are definitely on the up for you. So again, I'm very, very happy for you. Thank you again for all of your support. Your likes, shares, and subscribes help this channel grow and help me bring out these messages. If you'd like to donate or book a private reading, I have all of that information down below as well. Otherwise, I will see you next time. Bye, Capricorn.